Live coverage right now as we are your local election headquarters. Bridget Burlow is live in Franklin, Tennessee.
She is with Bill Lee.
What an exciting night here in Franklin, Tennessee. Moments ago, we found out that Bill Lee, the man standing beside me, won the Republican nomination for Tennessee governor. Wow, what a night.
Wow is right. What a great night. What an exciting night. What a privilege. What an honor. Humbling, overwhelming.
We spoke earlier in the day. You told me you were feeling hopeful, but this really has to be the icing on the cake for you.
Yeah, I'm just so grateful for the voters of Tennessee to choose a positive vision for the state, and I'm deeply humbled and grateful.
We had over 1,000 people here supporting you. How does it feel to have all that loyal support tonight?
You know, we had folks that joined on with us from day one and have believed in us all the way, and again, it's just exciting and humbling.
One thing you said all along, 15 months, you ran a campaign of integrity. Did that work for you?
You know, what worked for me is reminding myself every day that the reason I want to do this is because I want to serve the people of Tennessee, and to be one step closer to that privilege is exciting for me.
So what's next? More campaigning for you?
Yep, 95 counties in 95 days. We can make Tennessee not only a better place for 6.5 million people, but Tennessee can lead the nation.
And lastly, not only did you have all these supporters, you had your beautiful family there beside you. What did that support mean for you?
Such a great thing to have my family support me, my children, my extended family, y'all see them on the stage, and my wife Maria, who has been a constant source of encouragement and support right by my side every step of the way, on every RV trip and every stop.
With or without air conditioning, right?
What's that?
With or without air conditioning.
Yeah, with or without air conditioning. We're going to put it in the shop for a few days and get it fixed.
Perfect. Good luck to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye. All right, well, there you have it. So he won by 37% of the vote for the GOP ticket here in Tennessee for governor. So what's next for him? He's continuing the campaign trail to face off against the Democratic winner in the November election. But it's a very exciting night here in Franklin with more than 1,000 supporters in the building. Live in Franklin, Bridget Burlow, WATE 6 on your side. Back to you.
Time now to talk gun control. There has been a lot of debate about mental illness and guns. In fact, we have seen at least one incident here in Tennessee where mental health has played a part in a mass shooting after 4 people were killed at an Antioch Waffle House. So candidates, we are going to do something a little bit different with this question. We're going to give you both time to elaborate on your thoughts on this. But first, we want to get a show of hands. A show of hands, raise your hand if you are in favor of enhancing the red flag system, which identifies people with or who have suspicion of mental health issues as part of background checks for gun buyers. Okay, Governor, we're going to start with you, both of you. I want to go on the record raising your hand. Please elaborate, Governor.
Okay. These school shootings, first of all, are unbelievably difficult for this country. I can't even imagine what it's like to be a parent of a student in that school, let alone a parent whose child had been killed or seriously injured in that fashion. I think there are some basic sound things that we can do, including enhancing background checks, properly funding NICS. But one of the most important things will be to have some mechanism to identify people who, from a mental health perspective, are not suitable for handling, owning weapons.
Again, Congressman, you also raised your hand in support of a red flag system for background checks. Explain why.
Yes, and I will tell you, I think that we can protect the Second Amendment and also protect our citizens in public places. That is something that we've done throughout our nation's history. And I have supported enhancing the NICS system. And no one, I will tell you, nobody wants someone who is a danger to themselves or others to have a firearm in their possession.
We lead with breaking news tonight. Knox County deputies search for 3 men who tried to take a baby from a woman.
Yeah, she managed to hang on to the child, but the men got away. It all happened around 2:30 at the Walker Springs Apartments on Walker Springs Road, just north of I-40 in West Knoxville.
We sent WATE 6 on your side reporter Kelly Rinke that way the moment we found out. Kelly joins us live from that apartment complex. Kelly, what can you tell us about the search at this moment?
Hey, Lori. Well, the Knox County Sheriff's Office tells us that those 3 men tried to grab that child in an attempt to take it, all happening in this parking lot at Walker Springs Apartments in West Knoxville. But the mom wasn't going to let that happen. She took her baby back. Thankfully, the mom and child are okay, but those 3 men drove off, taking some of her belongings, including her purse. And some of the residents I've spoken to here, many of them are parents, so this news really hits close to home.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a grandmother, and I can't even imagine somebody trying to take my babies. So yeah, I feel for her, but I'm glad everything turned out okay.
Most of the residents were just returning home from work within the last hour, so not many people saw anything. But this is how you can help. The Knox County Sheriff's Office is looking for a very distinct car. They say those 3 men drove off in a white sedan, black hood with a red side driver door. So, of course, this is a breaking news situation, a developing story. But as soon as we find out any more details, we will be sure to pass those along.
Well, the U.S. Supreme Court will not be stepping in to stop the execution of Billy Ray Irick.
We learned that in the 3 o'clock hour today. You might remember here, Irick's attorneys had taken his case to the High Court this week after Governor Haslam said he would not grant clemency.
Irick convicted in the 1985 rape and murder of this little girl, 7-year-old Paula Dyer. He'd been babysitting Paula at her North Knoxville home. His conviction came a year later, but it's taken more than 3 decades for the rest of this process to play out.
And now, with less than 2 hours to his execution, we're bringing you team coverage. We're going to start with Madison Keevy. She is at Riverbend Maximum Security Institution just north of Nashville. That's where Irick is being held and where the lethal injection will be carried out.
Madison joins us live from just outside the prison. Madison, what is the scene like there with so many people focusing on this case?
Well, Lori, this crime took place in East Tennessee, but news organizations from all over the state are here today covering Billy Ray Irick's execution. Nashville, Memphis, and of course, Knoxville. Just to put it in perspective for you, if you look here to my right, tripods already set up for that press conference that would happen after the execution. This, of course, is where we'll hear from witnesses who'll be heading inside in just a few moments here to witness that execution. Now, we've been covering this story for you since day one 30 years ago, and for some, their personal connections to this case have lasted and will last even longer.
April the 16th, 1985, Officer Gary Price was on patrol on Western Avenue.
Reading from notes he took over 30 years ago, Don Weiser remembers this particular case vividly.
Paula was just a little old happy girl.
He says he's Paula Dyer's advocate. At the time, he was the lead investigator working with KPD, saving the case files, notes, even photos to help her get justice.
Used hands to cover her face.
Weiser responded to Paula Dyer's house after her stepfather rushed her to Children's Hospital. Weiser says when investigators pieced together what happened, the entire department was searching for Billy Ray Irick.
Well, we had a job to do for Paula. Paula Dyer, 4/15/1985, and then she started off, today is MOND.
One piece of evidence he's kept, Paula's final school assignment, dated the day before she was raped and murdered.
Well, because it was a child and a beautiful little girl, you know. It wasn't an accident, it was an evil, demonic type thing that happened to this young lady.
Now, I asked Weiser how he would feel if and when Irick is executed, and he says for Paula it would be justice, but that she's already got hers from the Lord. Guys.
The Traditionalist Worker Party kicked off a series of campus lecture tours in Buehler Hall, right behind us here.
We're taking back the streets, we're taking back our communities, we're taking back our future, and we're taking back our nation.
Party Chairman Matthew Heimbach pumped up members of the Traditionalist Worker Party, the TWP, moments before his lecture on the UT campus.
We're taking it back.
The controversial group's march across the 11th Street pedestrian bridge was fast, as a heavy police presence protected party members from protesters assembled below. Once inside Buehler Hall, the space rented for 3 hours, the National Socialistic Chairman was quick to mention reaction to their presence on campus.
The question is, are you really free if you have to go through a security checkpoint? Are you really free? The fact that people want to threaten to kill you, and if they had the ability, they would.
Matthew Heimbach's lecture was titled Socialism or Death. His appearance was meant as an open forum for people interested in learning about the party's cause. But only about 36 party members filled the lecture hall that could seat several hundred people.
We have a lot of local interest, and we have a very active chapter. I think everybody has reported on the Rock being tagged 1,000 times to death by now, but we have a really good chapter, and people just wanted to hear from us.
Matthew Heimbach's 1 hour and 40-minute lecture was interrupted often by applause. TWP said 1/3 of those listening to the speech were local. The others were from out of state. But no university students were inside the hall.
Students, that we wanted to be able to open things up, to be able to allow members of the campus to come and join us, aren't allowed in for security concerns. Why? Because people actually want to kill us.
As a self-professed white nationalist party, their allegiance was clearly stated. Leaving Buehler Hall was a different matter. It was noisy. As counter-protesters lined the street below the pedestrian crosswalk, jeers were exchanged between the groups. The loudest protest was made as the white supremacist group speeded away in their cars for an after-party rally at an undisclosed location.
As we continue our look at the opioid epidemic, it's important to know how addiction hijacks the brain. Here's what goes on. Drugs, especially opioids, flood the pleasure center of the brain with a powerful surge of dopamine. Addiction is directly linked to the speed and intensity of that release. In the 1930s, when studies on addictive behavior began, researchers believed people with addictions just had no willpower. Maybe they had low morals. Well, today, addiction is recognized as a chronic disease. Now, recovery certainly involves willpower, but it also requires multiple strategies to break the cycle. New at 6, we're focusing on one man's journey to heal his brain after years of drug and alcohol abuse. 24-year-old Gage Titlow is in the process of moving in to a new home, making his bed, putting his clothes away. This is home away from home for a year as he works to reach recovery from a 10-year addiction to drugs and alcohol.
I was drinking at 14 and 15 years old. And I have no explanation as to really why. It was just, I'm having so much fun. All this fun. It's not fun. It's miserable.
Gage is getting help from True Purpose Ministries treatment community, which runs Dane's House, a halfway house for men like Gage, named for Dane McCoy. Seen here during his growing up years with a loving family. The lure of drugs led to his death of an overdose in 2014. Dane's mother, Jan, is a force behind the effort to help others avoid the same fate as her son, who tried rehab several times at other places, allowed to go home before he was ready.
His brain wasn't healed yet, but I didn't know that at the time, neither did they. I think I've learned that since he's passed.
At the center of treatment is the addicted brain.
The first commitment is a year. We asked for them to come in for a full year. And, talking about the brain needs that time to heal. They need to be able to come in and learn, how they got this way and how to deal with their addiction.
Tim Hilton of Birmingham, Alabama is a national recovery advocate working as a consultant for Bradford Healthcare Services.
It's this dopamine delivery system.
Traveling the country to speak to groups about triggers in neurotransmitter pathways in the so-called pleasure center of the brain, genetic predispositions, and the insidious damage opioids have on the brain.
I think part of what we're seeing with the opioid crisis is opioids have such a powerful impact on those pathways that they more quickly dysregulate them. They do the damage more quickly. We saw the same thing with the methamphetamine epidemic we had several years back. So what happens is, an 18, 19-year-old young man uses heroin, and no matter what his genetic predisposition, there's a high probability that's going to very quickly dysregulate the pathways, and it's going to cause this reprogramming effect.
Addiction is part of Gage's family tree, although no one really talked about it. He's determined to stop the cycle.
My grandfather was an alcoholic. His father, I'm not sure about. I believe my dad's oldest brother may have had a problem. I'm not sure. But yeah, those sort of generational curses, they carry on, but we have the power to stop that. It can stop with this generation. It's over with. It's not going to carry another generation.
All right, so here's how this program that Gages with works. Again, he's with True Purpose Ministries. Jeremy Graham has been answering the phones for us. And this is about staying in one therapeutic community center for 1 year, then going on to Dane's house for another year. That's the key. Tell me quickly why 2 years is the benchmark for you.
Well, we found, and I think there's actually a national study, that once someone is clean for 2 years, the success rate goes up to 96%.
Wow.
Which is staggering. And if they're, especially if they're involved in a therapeutic community where there's like-minded people there going through the same recovery as them, there's just constant support for them all the way around the clock.
Thank you so much for all you do. We really appreciate it. Give us a call, 582-4985. These are really good numbers. That gives you hope. After 2 years, if you have a 96% success rate, wow.
Keeping our schools safe, WATE 6 on your side reporter Madison Keevy testing out a body armor backpack. She joins us here in the studio. So Madison, how easy was it to get a hold of one of these?
Well, Kristen, if you have a computer and an internet connection, you can be the proud owner of one of these called bulletproof or bullet-resistant backpacks. You don't have to go far. They're available online. I got the one that we used, this one, on Amazon. It delivered to my home in just 2 days. And many parents I talk to say they feel like their children are safe at school, but are considering something like this just in case. A parent's nightmare, sending their kids to school and they don't come home.
I guess as a kid growing up, you never go to school thinking you was not safe. And I guess nowadays it seems like that's all over the news.
All over the news, on the minds of parents, educators, and leaders. The search for solutions, metal detectors in schools, clear backpacks, even arming teachers with guns.
As a casual observer, you would have no idea that it would be bullet resistant.
Enter this bulletproof backpack, the Guard Dog Security Pro Shield 2.
It should be something that more of a stealth mode of operating where, yeah, I'm wearing this bullet-resistant backpack, but it doesn't look like one.
Retired FBI agent John McMurtry helps us determine if this is a solution you, a parent, should consider.
So to load up, we'll just, and we're ready to go.
Up against a .45 ACP pistol, the bulletproof bag has a level 3A protection, which means it should stop bullets like this.
It stopped it. The round's inside still.
If someone's wearing this and gets hit by what you just did, would they feel that impact?
They would feel, it would probably feel like they got hit, either punched in the back hard or hit with like a baseball bat or something like that.
Injured, maybe, but protected?
Yeah, they would definitely feel it, but it did stop it.
Of course, under the same conditions, the everyday backpack just doesn't hold up. Potentially the difference between life and death.
That would be a bullet in the back.
That's a through and through.
To the person, the damage would be completely different.
Completely different, yeah. It's a difference between being punched in the back and shooting somebody in the back.
The results, the bulletproof backpack protects as advertised. The surprise for this 20-year FBI veteran, how it's made.
It's pretty tough material.
That protective layer, lightweight, but enough to stop 2 rounds.
Tore into this, but barely. It probably went through several layers, but you have all these other ones that are untouched.
Side by side, the bags look the same, but the protection, a parent's peace of mind, dramatically different. One saving a life.
If the parent has the option to buy something like that, it's an extra level of protection for their child. It comes down to if you need it and don't have it, that's an awful situation to be in. If you have it and don't need it, that's the ideal situation.
So we did some research on how much a bag like this costs. Now we use this one in our test and it retails for $150 online. I got ours on Amazon, as I said, in 2 days, but I found others rated with the same 3A level of protection. Those ranged in prices from this one to $250 up to nearly $500.
Sometimes tragedy can really bring out the best in some people, and with the wildfires, that was definitely the case as well. We have shared stories over the last 2 years of people really reaching deep and donating their time, their money, their resources to help so many people here in the Sevier County area. One of the biggest efforts was spearheaded, of course, by East Tennessee's own Dolly Parton, and we're talking about the My People Fund. It took less than 48 hours after those wildfires for Dolly and her people to come up with this idea to help everyone who lost their primary residence here in Sevier County. Now, last week, Dolly was back here in town, and we had a chance to catch up with her. She talked about that night and where she thinks the area is heading.
It scared me to death. I was on the road, and I was sitting. Miley Cyrus had called and said, "Dolly, did you know your home's burning?" And I didn't know what she was talking about. And she said, "No, I'm serious. The Smoky Mountains are on fire."
Dolly Parton remembers exactly where she was when she heard about the fires tearing through East Tennessee. In less than 48 hours after the fires forced those evacuations, Dolly and her people came up with a plan to help.
These are my people, my memories, these are my mountains.
The My People Fund was a pledge to donate $1,000 a month for 6 months to every family who lost their primary homes in Sevier County. Donations poured in through Dolly's Smoky Mountains Rise telethon on December 13th. In fact, there was so much extra money, Dolly surprised families with a final $5,000 check rather than that $1,000 she had promised.
Well, I say it's the least I can do. These are my people. This is my home, and I'm in a position to help, and I should help. And I'm thrilled to death that it's worked out to where I can help.
Now, nearly 2 years after the wildfires, Dolly says she sees real progress and real healing in East Tennessee.
I think we really made a major comeback thanks to a lot of work, and I got a lot of credit for a lot of work that a lot of other people did. I mean, I'm happy to spearhead that whole thing and be the one to be able to take it. And then my partner was happy to do it and should have done it. But there were so many giving hearts, you know, that really helped with that.
So many giving hearts. That's a great way to put it. And we've shared those stories throughout the last 2 years. We also want to let you know, in case you didn't realize, even after that last check was handed out through the My People Fund, Dolly and her foundation continue to give back, even teaming up with Mountain Tough Recovery and also establishing and supporting the Wildfire Scholarship Fund for juniors and seniors in area high schools as well. So Dolly continuing to give back to her home area here, and of course much appreciated by so many people here in the Gatlinburg community.
In just a matter of days, cyclists will be flooding the streets of downtown Knoxville for USA Cycling. These athletes are preparing up until the very last minute, gearing up for the big race. There's only a handful of local riders this year, and they, more than anything, want to make their hometown proud.
There's no shortcut around putting in the time.
For 23-year-old Stephen Bassett, he knows what it takes to cross a finish line. And now he is pedaling toward another race, this time in the place he was born and raised.
It's been a lot of training, a lot of getting ready to race, a bunch of travel, a lot of juggling school.
Bassett always knew he wanted to become a cyclist, and at the young age of 18, he became a professional.
My mom found this journal I wrote in I don't know, 7th grade, so like 10 years ago, and it was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to live in this house and be a pro rider. So I don't think many people can plan out their life 10 years in advance and kind of do exactly what they wanted to do.
Bassett has now completed an impressive 500 races, last year placing in the top 20 in the USA Cycling Championships.
It was really fun last year, everybody was cheering for me.
But since then, his career took a terrifying turn when he came down with injury, a saddle sore that temporarily took him off the bicycle.
There was 3 or 4 months I really wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to be a bike rider anymore, so that was really stressful.
But after multiple surgeries and 6 months of healing, Bassett got back on the bike.
I was pretty much wrote off the whole year, in my mind, because it was too much of a stress to every day wake up and be like, oh, can I ride the bike today? Is this going to be the day? So anything that I get to do this year is kind of just a bonus, a really nice surprise.
This year's USA Cycling contest marking the first race since his injury. And he couldn't be more thrilled to continue the sport he loves in the city he calls home.
I mean, I do exactly what I've always wanted to do. The only thing is to keep getting better at it.
Because of Bassett's recent injury, he says he doesn't have big expectations for this year's race. He says he just wants to do his best and have a little fun with it. In Knoxville, Bridget Bjorlo, WATE 6 on your side.
East Tennessee, you and your neighbors just really stepping up tonight with tens of thousands of dollars in donations to support groups of volunteers who serve fellow veterans and their families. It is our second Operation Honor Guard Day of Giving right now, and Operation Honor Guard is a national organization, in case you didn't know, that raises money for the work of volunteer honor guards, groups that perform military honors, playing taps, a rifle salute, and presenting a flag at funerals for military veterans. We have been telling you about all of their work and how those volunteers often reach into their own pockets to make this happen, and what it means to families and to the honor guards themselves. We have team coverage tonight with WATE 6 on your side, sending crews to donation sites in North Knoxville, West Knoxville, Pigeon Forge, and New Tazewell. We go first to North Knoxville at Rose Mortuary, just across the street from our studios right now. That is where we find WATE 6 on your side anchor Lori Tucker. Lori, tell us about the response that you've been getting from the community really all day long.
It has been absolutely overwhelming and, dare I say, exhilarating, because we've seen so many people from all walks of life come by, each with a different story to tell. Our own Laura Holm has been here with us since bright and early this morning, and so many people are giving $1, $10, $100, even more, and they all want to shake an honor guard member's hand and share their story.
Yeah, and they're wanting to come by. Many people happen to be veterans themselves, and so they'll stop and salute, and they'll share stories about their experience serving in the military, and it's really been special for so many of us. You know, we have been talking about the kind of donations that we've been seeing, but we've also been finding that along with those stories, people are giving notes, simple notes for the honor guard members to take with them. I tucked away one in the van so that they wouldn't forget it, because it was just really so sweet and it touched all of our hearts.
It was included with a check, and we also spoke with a second grader. Her name is Avery Anderson. She attends school at First Lutheran just down the street, and her dad brought her by. She wanted to share with us what military service means to her. Again, second grade. Listen.
They helped fight in the armed forces.
And what do you think about that?
They were really kind and risked their life for us.
They're really kind and they risk their lives for us. Speaking about the veterans and the honor guard, and really that's why we're here. Yeah. And the honor guard out here too, actually helping raise money for their effort. They have stepped in for the cause.
Well, we've also got the van too that we were able to help them purchase last year, which really speaks to putting your gifts to good work. If you're wondering where all of that money is going, this is an example of that, because they have to pay for gas, maintenance of that vehicle. Their last van was about 10 years old. This is the Volunteer States Honor Guard, and so now this gift is just so incredible for them.
And there is so much more to be done. You know, things that continue to need to be funded, and we're going to talk about those. But in the meantime, we're at $34,707.05 right now, and that number continues to roll in. We have so many people who are visiting our website. We have so many people visiting our other areas that we have included this year. We have 2 new locations and the one on Kingston Pike. So we're going to continue to keep you updated. We're here until 6:30 tonight, and we want to raise last year's total, which was $42,000. We want to bump it on up from there, and we know East Tennessee, we can do this. Let us hear from you. Again, we're here until 6:30 tonight. Kristen, I'll send it back to you.
Tonight, a cancer survivor has a new life and a smile like her mother's.
That's right. For years, a young woman fought to get dental implants because cancer treatments had destroyed her jaw and her gums. Well, she called WATE 6 on your side reporter Don Dare more than 2 years ago, hoping her story could help others.
Okay. We're folding.
Krista Huey radiates enthusiasm for everything she does, despite what she's gone through. Dressed in period costume for a program at Fort Loudon State Park last month, Krista's life is slowly getting back to normal. Here she is 20 years ago while recovering from a bone marrow transplant. Multiple treatments of chemotherapy and radiation slowly destroyed her jaw and gums.
I had had jaw exposure for over 9 years and wasn't able to eat really well. And then I lost my teeth in July 2015, and it took me 2 years to get teeth and had to fight for them.
We first met Krista in March 2016. Crippled by 2 types of cancer, each step is slow and painful. She's had both knees replaced, an ankle fused, and extensive elbow surgery. Still, she's independent and loves the outdoors. But 2.5 years ago, her nutritional health was suffering. Unable to wear dentures, Jell-O fruit cups and other soft foods were her daily diet, like soups, chicken broth, and packaged cut fish. A great percentage of cancer survivors, like Krista, are plagued with oral health problems. Chemo and radiation cause decay, and dentures wouldn't fit on her small gums. Beginning in 2014, she requested dental implants. The answer, no.
Almost every insurance company denies it as a cosmetic issue.
Krista said her oncologist and dentist fought the denial letters, claiming implant surgery was medically necessary.
If you lose your breast to cancer, and that is cancer treatment, they are paid for to be reconstructed. But I have damage directly caused by my cancer treatment, but this is considered a cosmetic issue. And the inequality is just, it's dumbfounding.
Accompanied by her husband in April 2016, she was on her way to surgery at UT Medical Center. Her long battle won. Krista's insurance company had approved dental implants.
This is my last big thing and my last big struggle from my cancer, so I'm excited to get it over with and get my teeth.
I loved her with or without teeth. It didn't really matter. So, but from the standpoint of her overall health, it's going to make a huge difference, and that's what we're really looking forward to.
2 weeks after surgery, her face and jaw swollen, 16 posts were successfully placed to serve as anchors for the implants.
He split the jawbone from the front all the way to the back and then put the metal abutments in and then used cadaver bone to fill that in. So I'm a little bit more sore than I expected, but I'm healing great. There's 4 on this side and 4 on this side.
Oh, yeah. Krista said the abutments were holding strong.
Then 4 on top here and 4 on top here.
Dental implants are replacement tooth roots made of titanium. They bond with natural bone and become a sturdy base for supporting artificial teeth called crowns. Implants can cost anywhere between $2,000 and $8,000 per tooth without dental insurance. Krista had 16 implants. In September of last year, her mouth healed. Krista's dentist was experimenting with practice teeth, adjusting her bite to make everything fit.
I'm looking forward to being able to tell people how this could be done, honestly. I think that's my biggest, it's really the biggest thing. That's the reason why the reason why I contacted you.
Over the last 30-some months, Krista said her physical, psychological, and social well-being has improved dramatically.
I had fought for over 10 years to get my teeth taken care of.
As a result of your successful dental implants, you want insurance companies to reconsider what they deem as cosmetic surgery.
Absolutely. You know, it's very important to me that insurance really looks at it differently as a part of a health issue instead of a part of a cosmetic, because I sure do feel better having had my teeth.
As a young woman, Krista said she and her mother, on the left, enjoyed the same smile. Now her new smile is a reason to celebrate.
Welcome to Fort Loudon. Have you been here before?
Today, she's confident and feels whole again.
Really made a big difference in how I felt.
And now here you are out in the public.
Yes, I am.
With that big smile.
Yeah, I love it.
Mother smile.
Yeah, sorry. It's special. It's very special. I really like it. Thank you.
Ask most any nurse and they will tell you it is their life's work.
A young Knoxville woman wanted to be a nurse so badly, she did not let a life-threatening illness stand in her way. Here's Olivia's story in this week's Positively Tennessee.
Hey, Alexandra. How you doing?
At 23, first-year nurse Olivia Pate is about the same age as the leukemia patient she's checking on today at UT Medical Center.
Are you still feeling okay?
Olivia says helping cancer patients is part of her calling.
Sometimes I can connect to certain patients in a different way just because I actually understand some of the things that they go through.
That understanding comes from her own cancer diagnosis. It was just in February that Olivia learned she had Hodgkin's lymphoma. She was in her final year of nursing school at the University of Tennessee when she got the dreaded news, and credits her faith with keeping her calm.
I wasn't afraid at all. I just knew that, God's got it, and I'll do whatever it takes to, fight for it and get better.
Olivia's smile never wavered. And even though she was undergoing grueling chemotherapy treatment and surgery, she kept on with her classes.
I was determined to graduate May 12th. I was not going to let it interfere with my studying. There were some days I was just exhausted, or I wasn't feeling just that great at all from having treatment or surgery, but I was provided with strength and just got through it all.
Her perseverance paid off. Olivia graduated and landed her dream job in August while still undergoing cancer treatment.
I applied here, got accepted with a job, and then once I started, I knew it was just meant to be.
Some people would have rolled over and said they'll do it later or just wait until the illness is done, but she really stepped up and came through.
She never gave up, never gave in, and embraces a positive outlook when looking over the past year.
I had so many good things and so many blessings to come out of it that, it honestly hasn't been that bad of a year, and I like to focus on that and just kind of use that with my attitude also with how I treat patients.
In just a handful of valleys tucked away in the shadows of the Great Smoky Mountains, elk almost appear to be on display this time of the year. While wildlife is abundant here in our mountains, seeing elk like this generally only happens a few weeks out of the year during the fall rut or the breeding season. That means from late September to early November, these once nearly extinct creatures come out into the open, where you can watch the bulls corralling the females and the calves.
The bulls are bugling, they're fighting with each other, all of the females are grouped up in tight groups. The leaves start to change colors, the air's a little cooler, so all in all, just a really nice time to be out with the elk.
There are only about 100 elk in the park, and right now they call North Carolina home. Park biologists know this because they closely monitor these animals. The elk were wiped out in our area nearly 200 years ago and only reintroduced in two places, Oconaluftee and the Cataloochee Valley in North Carolina.
Beginning in 2001, we brought elk in from Land Between the Lakes, Kentucky, and Elk Island National Park in Alberta as an experiment to see if elk could survive here. Across about 8 years, we figured out, yes, they can survive, and they're doing quite well.
And while all of this attracts quite a crowd, there are some dangers here as well. When you're taking in the sights of the elk here in Oconaluftee, don't forget that you need to keep your distance. There are signs reminding you to stay at least 50 yards away, and there are also volunteers on hand at all times here in the evening, making sure that traffic keeps moving and that visitors keep their distance. The problem is, sometimes that isn't enough.
We have had a couple of close calls, including this year. We had a man that ended up climbing a tree because he felt threatened by the elk. Basically waited in that tree until park staff member came down and chased the elk off.
Outside of rangers, there are 4 park volunteers staffed near the Oconaluftee Visitor Center each and every night of the rut.
Keep moving, do not stop.
Part of their job is to prevent traffic jams near the fields with the elk. The other part is to educate and try to protect visitors who don't seem to understand these are still wild animals.
People will start walking out in the middle of the field thinking that they're friendly. The elk are not friendly, they're not tame. And one time somebody asked me, but they've got collars on them. And I said, well, we don't take them for walks or anything.
In fact, the elk reminded us several times during our interviews that you need to stay alert because they can be pretty unpredictable.
First, my mom come there, and
Heads up,
then
folks.
my
Heads up.
dad
That's okay.
Sorry, they're running.
They can also be quite vocal, which ironically they demonstrated just as park rangers were trying to explain the elk's erratic behavior this time of the year.
The bulls, their testosterone level is increased by about 1,000 times what they are normally, and so they're a lot like an angry teenager. They just know nothing but no.
Still, if you follow the safety guidelines, this is an incredible chance for you to experience something many only read about in school books.
I made it out, and we made them, and we learned about the letter E.
And if you're lucky enough, you can also capture that perfect shot of one of these majestic creatures.
WATE 6 on your side. News at 6 starts now.
A winter weather alert after watching and preparing tonight. Widespread snow across East Tennessee.
The WATE 6 on your side storm team tracking the snowfall totals and getting you ready now for the frigid weather still to come.
Plus, we are visiting with neighbors, kids, and parents as the flakes continue to fall, making the most of this snow day. Right now at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kristen Farley.
I'm Lori Tucker. Thanks so much for being with us. You know, we've been spreading the word, asking you to get ready, and tonight that fast-moving winter weather system is blowing through with snow from the plateau to the valley to the mountains.
Tonight we have live team coverage. Aaron Barnett in Knoxville, Don Dare in Alcoa, and Kelly Rinke is in Crossville. We're also keeping a watch on the roadways. In fact, you're looking at a live picture now with Shay Sorensen heading out of, she was coming down into Knox County last time we checked with her, and she's heading into some back roads to get a feeling of how they are doing right now.
A lot of people have questions about that. The 6 on your side storm team has been getting us ready for this winter weather alert over the past few days. Meteorologist Ken Weathers standing by in the storm center. First, though, let's go outside to a chilly Matt Hinken on the front lawn of Greystone right here in North Knoxville.
Yeah, Matt, what are you seeing out there right now?
Well, we still have some light snow here, and here's going to be the concern as well, as we've been talking about the last few hours. I'm going to step over toward the fence here. This is North Broadway, and let our camera guy just show you out here. The roads have been treated, but you can see traffic moving along quite nicely. The problem is you don't want to be coming down this hill too fast or up the hill too fast, because you hit your brakes and you start sliding. Road's been treated, but temperatures are going to be in the teens and low 20s tonight, so it's going to be a cold, 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 cold night across East Tennessee. So take it easy. Roads are passable, at least the main ones that have been treated, but you got to take your time, especially if you're going to be out tonight. Temperatures are going to be dropping into the probably 12-degree range is where we're looking at as we go tonight, so we've got that going on as well. On the inside, meteorologist Ken Weathers more about when this precipitation is going to end in the storm center.
Matt, thanks a lot. We're already seeing that snow start to taper off now back across the plateau. Crossville to Jamestown, Oneida drying out now. Same thing in McCreary County, Kentucky. But still about an hour and a half, 2 hours left before it makes it through Knoxville, and then another couple of hours past that before it clears over into the Smokies. Here's that defined line right through here. Maybe a stray flurry or two behind it, but really most areas will dry out rather quickly. You may see the clouds thin a bit as well, as we have been seeing back towards the plateau. But we're going to keep the winter weather alert going. So even though as the snow tapers off slowly this evening, there are going to be some icy roads overnight tonight, especially untreated secondary roads. We're talking lows in the single digits and teens like Matt mentioned, and wind chill values below 0 for tomorrow morning for the kids. Here's how it times out. 12 will be the overnight low. Between 6 o'clock and again 10 o'clock, the snow tapers off here in the Knoxville area, and we're talking lows at 12. Wind chill values in Knoxville 2 degrees by tomorrow morning. We'll let you know when we finally warm back up, though, Lori, coming up in just a minute.
All right, Ken, thank you so much. And looking at those temperatures, here is the big message, everyone. Be careful on the roads. Don't go out if you can avoid it. You know, we've started to see a few wrecks already and some real driving challenges around the area.
Yeah, we've been warning people this was coming. Here's one crash. This was involving a cat bus and another vehicle. The report coming in around 90 minutes ago. This happened right along Knox Road and Fair Drive. That is next to the Kroger store in Fountain City. Now we're told it was quickly cleared up. We do not have any specifics on if anyone was hurt or exactly what happened there. Another wreck leaving a car on its top. This happening on Whittle Springs Road in North Knoxville. An ambulance was called out to the scene there, but was waved off as our photographer was shooting the video. At least that is some good news there.
Yes, absolutely. And Knoxville Mayor Madeline Rogero tweeting these pictures of crews that have salted the roads, level 1 and level 2 streets in the last couple of hours. We have been showing you pre-treating. That was yesterday. Now they're continuing with material that has some calcium in it to continue to break down that ice. Live coverage on the road conditions right now. Meteorologist Shay Sorensen has been on the roadways throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, Shay, where are you now? What have you been seeing?
Hey you guys, well right now we are in a neighborhood near Powell, and you can see that the roads are not treated very well, so they're a little icy. Actually, let me flip the camera around so you can actually see. They are not treated very well, so there is a little bit of snowpack on there. They are a little icy. We even, there was no cars around, so we were trying to kind of accelerate fast, and we were kind of sliding around a little bit. So that's just something to keep in mind for early tomorrow morning if you do have to go to work. The roads are pretty untreated, at least in this neighborhood and quite several other neighborhoods as well. Another thing I noticed on the roadways is that people did not have their headlights on. Hopefully they're starting to now that it's getting darker, but we were on 75 and this one car did not have their headlights on, and they were very hard to see. So if you do have to be out and about today, be sure that you do have your headlights on. And also something to remember, your headlights may be snow covered too, so before you get into your car, be sure you wipe all of your headlights off, your backup brake lights as well, so people can see you braking up ahead of you, because those of course get snow covered when conditions are like this. All right, I'll go ahead and send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Shay, so much. A lot of people don't think about things like that.
No,
so
and
we
good
appreciate
advice.
that. Yeah, lots of school systems calling off classes again tomorrow.
Here is part of that list for you, everyone. We're talking Knox County schools making the decision about an hour ago. Knox County schools closed tomorrow because of what the district is describing as continued accumulation and freezing temperatures, creating, quote, hazardous road conditions.
You're also seeing the list on the side and bottom of your screen. It's also posted at WATE.com and our 6 on Your Side news app, so you can't miss it. The list constantly being updated as those new closings come in.
And team coverage continuing right now, how families are really trying to make the most of this snow day.
Making it fun for the kids. WATE 6 on Your Side reporter Erin Barnett joins us live from West Knoxville, where she's been all day. Erin, you were out there waiting for the snow to come down.
Yes, alongside those kids who I tell you, the families we met with today, those kids went outside even before the snow started falling because they were just that excited for this snow day. This is what snow day dreams are made of. In this West Knoxville neighborhood, the kids can't get enough of it.
I was so excited because at first, it didn't really snow. And then I came outside and I just saw snow everywhere, and I got so excited, and it's just so fun to play out in the snow.
All bundled up, their parents tell me the anticipation for snow started Monday night when the kids found out school was canceled Tuesday.
I was cooking dinner, and so I'm like, I'm not going to tell him yet. I'm just going to wait. And then the little boy that lives over there came running out, it's canceled! And so then after that, it was a snowball effect, and they were all super excited.
As soon as the flakes started falling Tuesday afternoon, they didn't waste a minute going straight outside.
I was super duper happy.
Snow makes you happy.
If it snows a lot, then build a snowman or a snowball fight.
I hope we get at least 3 inches of snow, so that way we can go sledding and stuff.
And no matter how much we end up getting, these kids are just happy making memories.
Nothing brings me more joy than knowing the things that I experienced as a child than seeing my children go through it. It's so much better through a child's eyes, watching the snow and just seeing their joy and their excitement and just the love they have for, oh, are we going to build a snowman today? Are we going sledding? And all that fun stuff.
And you better believe it, they were so excited to find out that they were going to get yet another snow day at home. Sweet memories for many families across East Tennessee who are getting to stay home and enjoy the snow, get out and play in it. Kristen and Lori.
Oh, love that. Erin, thank you so much. Be careful out there. And you caught the mom's pun.
Yes.
Everything's starting to snowball. Good one. We love that. Hey, we also love seeing the winter weather that's going on in your area.
Yeah, today we've been asking you to send in your best snow pictures and videos.
Check out this drone video sent in by Landon Ford. This video showing Jacksboro, which is always beautiful, but especially so with the snow, and that's in Campbell County.
Great vantage point there. And thanks to April Hatfield for sending in this video of Grayson's first snow near Norris Lake. Look at the little guy out there. April telling us he walked out, pointed to the sky and said, stop it.
Aw. Well, you know, he's not the only one this cold is getting to. Check this out. Ricky Gibson from Seymour sending in this picture of Sugar all snuggled up in a blanket. Aww. So cute. And that seems to be the trend among our four-legged friends. Thanks to Shayna Massey of Knoxville for sending in this picture of Bella. I think this is Bella, Scruffy, and Sadie enjoying the snow day inside. Did not want to go outside.
Together there. And
yes.
All right. Matt and Ken have been telling us really all day this wintry weather is impacting all of East Tennessee, and that means Blount County also seeing a blanket of snow right now.
Many of you waiting for the snow's arrival all day today. There, 6 on Your Side reporter Don Dare joins us live from Alcoa.
Now, Don, you have been there for hours now. Were people prepared for what's falling from the sky right now?
Oh, Kristen and Lauren, let me tell you, people here are really prepared. You know, there's something about snow that brings out the childlike enthusiasm in all of us. Over the last half hour, the snow tapered off, but in the last 5 minutes, the intensity has really picked up. We're right outside of McGee-Tyson Airport here in Alcoa Highway, busy Alcoa Highway, as you can see behind me. Blount County Ice Crews they've done a great job this afternoon spreading salt on the roadways. But for those of you who live in the ridges of Blount County, and especially for those of you who have homes in the mountainous areas of Blount County, you know what the roadways are going to be like tonight as the temperature plunges. We talked with some people earlier today about today's snowstorm.
Well, it's beautiful, but I've been looking all morning for it and didn't think it was going to do anything, so I got up early and went over there. I was staying at my brother's house, and so she keeps saying, it's coming in, you better go, you better go. So I've got some errands to run. And
what do you think of this?
I'm just surprised it's finally here. I didn't think it was going to make it. But
now that this snow has made it, what are you going to do tonight to hunker down?
I think I'm just going to stay home and watch Netflix.
Yes, I would imagine that a lot of people tonight will be cozying up to their fireplaces. Let me tell you about some of the flights tonight. Some of them have been canceled. The departure from Delta, the Delta flight to Atlanta at 7:04, it has been canceled. Some arrivals have been canceled. The Delta flight arriving from Atlanta, that one at 11:46, that's been canceled. There's also a flight leaving to Houston, that's a United flight at 11:05. It's been canceled, and several other flights have been delayed, so you'll want to check with your airline to make sure whether those flights are going to be arriving and departing on time. Reporting live in a snowy Alcoa, Don Dare, WATE 6 on your side.
All right, Don, thank you so much. Yeah, just call ahead or check online for your flight.
Yeah, you know how Don says it brings out the kid in all of us? I think he enjoys it as well.
He's had some fun. And we're not through with this cold and snow just yet, so now is the time to download our Knoxville weather app right there on your phone.
Remember, everyone, you can customize alerts to keep up with conditions and the forecast right in your neck of the woods. Plus, you can help stay in touch with the weather situation when you're away from your TV or if you lose power.
It is free. Just go to the App Store and search for Knoxville weather. Well, still to come, a snow day in downtown Knoxville, meeting a Californian seeing snow in person for the first time.
And we are also up on the plateau checking out conditions tonight, finding out what it's like if you can't get out of work on a snow day and you have to get out in this winter weather.
And light snow is moving out, but much colder air is moving in. I'm letting you know how cold it will be tomorrow morning. Coming up, you're watching WATE 6 on your side. News at 6.
Hey everybody, welcome back to North Broadway in front of the studios of the Greystone Mansion here. We do have a cold night on tap, but the good news here is that we've got some traffic moving along. If you need to get out and about, the main roads are doing okay. We just had the county works department just go by here with the plow going, and also, well, here you can come. Let's see if we can just work this out. You would think we planned this, but we did not plan this. Here he comes up the hill, and I think he's spreading salt. Give him a little bit of time here. He just turned the corner, so yeah, that's what's going on now. He's got the plow up, but also has been spreading some salt, so that's going to help you out. As you can see those guys doing it. There he is, dropping the salt right there. So masterful job, perfect timing. Thanks for stopping by, and Godspeed as you guys work hard tonight, that's for sure. We're at 18 degrees here in Knoxville. I want to just show you real quick one thing that you want to do. I know a lot of people like to take snow measurements. Just a reminder, we don't take snow measurements in the grass. We do not take snow measurements in the grass. That's not a solid surface. We need a solid surface like this right here. Take 2 or 3 different levels there. We've probably got a good 1/4 to a 1/2 inch here that's packed and melted down just a little bit. So yeah, it's going to be a cold night. We've got snow showers going, but we do have improvements. Big thing after the snow stops in a little bit, as Ken's going to tell you, cold, 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 bitterly cold. What's the deal with that, Ken?
Absolutely, Matt. We're talking single digits and teens overnight. So that's why we're going to continue with the winter weather alert. Even though the snow's ending, untreated roads will be slick overnight with temperatures single digits and teens and wind chill values below 0. Snow has ended across the plateau now. Crossville fine. Look at Monticello already at 3 degrees at 5:15 Central Time. That is cold. Temperatures will continue to drop as the snow moves out for tonight. So what I've done is kind of a reverse track. What this means is the back edge of the snow. So timing for when the snow ends at your area. La Follette around 6:43, Clinton 7:32, Knoxville 8:34, Neyland Stadium 8:39. So again, we're looking at that 8 to 9 o'clock time frame before the snow moves out of our area. Snow has ended in Fairfield Glade. What a nice sight that will be, even a few thin clouds starting to break up across the region as well. This is our Knoxville Wholesale Furniture Camera Network. And 6 Timeline's done a very good job with the timing of this. We'll go from 6:30, about where we are now, through 8 o'clock, and look how that snow is really starting to weaken and taper off as it slides through the valley. Just a little bit left over the mountains by 11 o'clock, but most areas drying out, just very cold. Look at temperatures down in the single digits by tomorrow morning. Even below 0 at some spots first thing. So we're still doing okay in our forecasted amounts. Trace up to 1 inch for most areas, isolated 2-inch amounts across the valley, 1 inch plus for most on the plateau with isolated 3-inch amounts. Same thing for the mountains, most around 2, highest peaks around 4 inches of snow there. But as we've been saying, cold is the biggest story tomorrow morning. -1 Jamestown, -2. Those are actual temperatures tomorrow morning. If you're going to be heading out and playing in the snow, kids, though, bundle up. Parents, maybe just wait later in the day. Those are forecast wind chill values by the same time. Most will be below 0. All right, 7-day forecast looks like this, getting much better as we go through the week. Sunshine, upper 40s by the time we get to Friday. And look at that thaw for the weekend. People in short sleeves, I'm thinking, by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, with upper 50s on Sunday. And the next chance of moisture is all liquid by Monday with rain.
All right, Ken, thank you. Well, these frigid temperatures we have now and the snowfall creating some slick and icy spots here in Knoxville.
Frustrating for some drivers, but for others, this snow day is pretty special.
Our team coverage continues right now with reporter Bridget Burlow. She is on your side tonight with how people are enjoying the winter blast.
Downtown Knoxville looking much like a winter wonderland this afternoon, and many people spending the day out and about, taking the experience in, some people for the very first time.
It's so beautiful. It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Watching snowfall and feeling snowflakes on your skin is more than just an annual winter event. For Alex Muller, it's a first-time experience.
I always wanted to see snowfall, kind of live in it, but I like this snow because it's still livable. I don't have to dig my car out to go to work, so this is like the perfect type of snow.
Muller comes to Tennessee from California, where the only snow she saw was on TV. But she's not the only one enjoying the winter sights in Knoxville.
I think it's great. It's about time. We've got some, so I'm just excited to actually see it come down.
It's nice. It's exciting because, like, East Tennessee, you never know what the weather's going to be, so getting snow is really exciting.
Snow powdering the streets of downtown, with snowflakes glistening the benches, the statues, and the leaves. The winter weather giving many people the day off to enjoy the snow day.
Just to enjoy the day off and continue to see it come down. Hopefully it accumulates.
Honestly, I think it's a bit ridiculous that everything was canceled for it, but we'll see if it actually picks up.
And as for Muller, she says she's just planning to soak it all in and create a memory that will last for many winters to come.
It's kind of like everything I imagined. Yeah, it's just so pretty. You can try to catch it.
And most of the people I spoke with today said that as long as they don't have to be out driving in these conditions, the snow here is very well welcomed in Knoxville. Bridget Burlow, WATE 6 on your side.
All right, Bridget, thank you. From downtown Knoxville to the Plateau, our winter weather team coverage continues tonight.
Yes, WATE 6 on your side. Reporter Kelly Rinke joins us now live from Crossville. Kelly.
Hey guys, well, the snow stopped falling here about an hour ago, and from what one man told me, it's actually been falling here since 8 a.m., but just an accumulation, really just some powdery stuff, not enough to make a snowball. But let's talk about the roads, because I know that's a concern for some people. So take a look at this video that we took earlier. Crews have been out here since 6 a.m. and they have been dumping 130,000 tons of salt. They expect the conditions to get worse overnight, so they urge people to stay off the roads now that the sun is down. But for some kids, of course, they love to enjoy the snow day. But for some adults, they say this is a big inconvenience.
I don't like it at all. It stops me from working.
What do you do for work?
I drive a truck for a living, haul logs, paper wood, stuff like that. You can't do that around here.
And Lucas, who you just heard from there, says he's probably going to be out of work tomorrow as well. I also spoke to the city manager here in Crossville, and he tells me thankfully they have not heard of any phone calls on accidents on the road, so that's good to hear that people are staying safe there. But for now, we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Kelly, and be careful coming home. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Time now to talk some sports.
Let's see what sports director Marshall Hughes is working on this snowy day.
Yeah, Tennessee basketball going to be inside on the court. They're going to be in Missouri on Wednesday. Grant Williams gained some conference recognition. I'm going to tell you more about it coming up in tonight's Orange and White Nation Report.
Orange and White Nation Report, brought to you by your Greater Knoxville Honda dealers.
Well, Tennessee's depth at quarterback is one man thin after Quentin Dormady announced his intent to transfer Monday. To combat that, the Vols reportedly have their eyes on a graduate transfer signal caller. Wagner quarterback Alex Thompson drawing interest from Jeremy Pruitt. Thompson is in the same boat as Dormady as that post-grad transfer. He wasn't as highly regarded in high school because his team ran a wing T. He's 6'5", 225 pounds. He's thrived at the FCS level. He's been training with former NFL QB Phil Simms. Thompson can play immediately. He's also got 2 years of eligibility left. The Vols have 5 quarterbacks on campus, another on the way. Jared Garantano leading the position group in experience. Pruitt signed J.T. Shrout in the early signing period. The Cali native is going to arrive in June. You got Zach Jancic. He's going to be the only upperclassman quarterback for the Vols next season. No surprise here, but Vols sophomore Grant Williams named the SEC Player of the Week. It's Williams' first SEC Player of the Week honor. This after a career-high 37-point performance at Vandy. He put up a not as dominant performance this weekend against Texas A&M, going 3 of 13 from the field, only 9 points, but his scoring not his only asset to the team.
And I think sometimes people look at the points as being the key factor, and everybody sees that. And, you know, he had some of the same shots he had against Vandy that didn't go in. He still had the ball in his hands a lot. He made some good plays out of there. As much as we want him to score, we need him to rebound and play defense as much as we just want him to be balanced.
All right, Williams and the Vols taking on Missouri. Conzo Martin and Missouri tomorrow night.
All right, and tonight, weather.
Snow moves out over the next couple of hours, but bitterly cold overnight. Single digits and teens, so whatever's left on the roadways will freeze, and we're talking about below 0 wind chill values in the morning, too.
All right, Ken, thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Stay warm and stay safe.
We'll see you back at 11.